Hey everybody, this is Mentee Corey and I'm with Gary Martin from Victory Collision. And the reason why we're talking to you is because I wanted this opportunity to share a little story about Gary and why he became a Mitchell customer. And we first started out, when I first met Gary, I came in and Gary gave me that look on, oh great, here's another salesman. But after being able to let Gary talk to me a little bit, we were talking about diagnostics. And Gary decided to move forward with diagnostics, and I just wanted to share why Gary chose to move forward with diagnostics.
So what sold me on the diagnostics was the ability to scan whatever comes through my shop and not have to worry about sublet. Now 90%, 95% of everything that we get through the shop stays in the shop, so it's just money that stays with us and not have to leave the shop.
And you know, and I just want to clarify that he uses two devices. He uses the Mitchell Diagnostic aftermarket tool for scanning, and then also uses the Mitchell Diagnostic OE tool to do all his final stuff with programming and everything else, correct?
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And what did you like about the Mitchell Diagnostic OE tool, the Drew device?
So the Drew device, I like the interaction with it. So when you plug it up, you get a phone call from Drew. They tell you what they're scanning, what they're going to be looking for, and then if anything comes up, they'll call you back and say, hey, listen, this is what needs to be done, this is what needs to be done. They can do it for you right then and there, and it's done. Your car's going out the door the same day versus having to take it somewhere, bring it back, and it's out of your shop for a while.
So what basically Gary's doing is he's doing 95% of all work in-house. The only thing that he still has to send out is anything for static calibration. So all static calibration still needs to be sent out, but he's able to keep 95% of everything in-house. Now the best part about this story with Gary is the fact that once Gary started using our diagnostic system, he proceeded to want to start looking at cloud estimating and seeing how that can help his shop, as well as you went ahead and purchased our management system. So give a quick story on why, after you started out with Mitchell Diagnostics, did you start looking at the other things that we offered?
So there's a lot of things that Mitchell offered that at the time, or still do, that CCC, which I've used for years, didn't offer. A lot of like when you scan, everything goes into Mitchell. There's a lot of the repair methods, there's a lot of stuff in Mitchell that CCC didn't offer. And what I found it helpful that CCC hurt themselves by not offering it. And what I can't find in CCC, I can always find in Mitchell.
And you are a two-platform shop, so I mean, I don't want to think that, you know, he just totally left what he was doing, but he saw value in where we were able to help him add more to his shop, right? Yeah. And you know, and we were able to do it at an efficient cost for you as well.
Yeah, no, it really was. Yeah.
So you know, the bottom line is not everybody can use, you know, multiple platforms at their shop, but what the one thing is that, you know, Gary's saying is we were able to provide him a lot more information, a lot more Mitchell One capabilities, meaning that everything flows right into one system for him without having to search for a bunch of other things. Would you agree?
Yeah, because I've gotten rid of all data. I had another service that we used for that stuff too, but yeah, I've gotten rid of all data and all my other kind of diagnostics apps and applications and stuff.
So, you know, we want you to understand that, listen, we just want you to have the opportunity to see something, and that's what I'm really proud about Gary, is no matter what, he gave me the opportunity just to show him how we can save him time and money by being able to keep more stuff in-house, being able to have repair procedures in front of him, easier to have access. And let me ask you this question really quick. Would you agree with this statement that the repair procedures that we have in our system can save you at least an average of 20 minutes of research time?
If not more, depending on how involved you have to be. But yeah, easily 20 minutes.
So, you know, if you take 20 minutes and you calculate that by every RO that you do for a month, think about how much time now you're saving. So, you know, is there anything that you would like to share with my customers about, and I shouldn't just say my customers, I should say anybody that has ever looked at Mitchell or thought about looking at Mitchell, on why they should?
So I was a huge skeptic, like he said when he first started this program. As a matter of fact, I almost just kicked him out and said, "Get out of my shop. I ain't got time for you." But we sat down and we talked. She showed me the Mitchell first. Then we started talking about scan tools and whatnot. But it was just all encompassing, and it just worked. I haven't had any issues with the scanners at all. It just worked. It was nice. It was convenient.
So, I just want to clarify one thing. Again, I'm not trying to push anything on anybody. I never tried to push anything on Gary. It was all about just being able to take the time to see it. If I can show you something that can help you, save you time and money, and be able to get more out of something to fix these cars more safe and proper, because that's always been our number one talk. We've always talked about fixing cars safe and proper, and that's all I talk about. So if you give us the opportunity to show it to you, I would appreciate it. Again, this is Gary Martin. He's from Victory Collision. If you ever want to reach out to him, he's in the Kansas City area. I know for a fact he's always willing to help anybody, talk to him how he's doing things and how the diagnostic units are benefiting him all the time.
Yeah, and I will say that I've been a huge CCC user for many years, and I never once dreamed, that I'd be using Mitchell or even like Mitchell. But you got to take the time if you attempt to bring it into your shop. You have to take the time to sit down and really go through it, because it's a whole lot different than CCC. And then once you get used to it, it becomes just a streamlined deal, and eventually it's like using CCC.
Yeah, and you know what? We all know change is tough, right? I mean, in our industry, we know change is never easy, because you know what? You changed into a management system. Yeah. That's not an easy change, but I can tell you right now, as anything else goes, there's always a thing about 3-month rule. The first month is always a honeymoon. The second month is where you're always starting to run into issues and struggling and getting by. And then the third month after that, everything is smooth sailing, because why? You've gotten used to it.
You've gotten used to it.
So, give us the opportunity to be able just to share with you on what we're doing differently. Again, this is Gary Martin. I'm a mentee, Corey, and we appreciate your time. And as always, have a great day.
See ya.